Go.
I'm Gavin Fitzgerald. I'm here to talk to you about education. More importantly, what you use it for. People, when they hear education, they think of, they think of school, and of course, school means tests. Most people study for their tests late at night, but after that, they don't use the information, unless there's obviously another test. I'm going to use my brother for this next example. He refuses to learn, so he's a great example. He has 3 D's, 2 F's, but he's not dumb, and he can take those Accuplacer tests that they give him like they're nothing. But it's crazy because he's a bright kid, and yet his grades don't show it. The reason this happens is because he chooses not to learn. He refuses to learn. Which, yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But if you think about it, a lot of people refuse to learn every day. For example, when you're walking down the hall, right, and you see someone say, "Hi, how you doing?" and they answer, "Good, but I'm really tired," right? Either you kept walking, A, and you said, "That's good," as you left, or B, you talked to them and then left. Both ways, you probably won't remember what they said within 10 minutes. Another example, when you're sitting in class and you start to zone out, and you know that you have done it, and you zone out and you know you've probably done it at least once, everybody has. Even if you listen and do the homework and ace the tests, but choose not to remember the information, you just wasted hours of your life.
Then don't give us his last
Dang it!
doesn't mean he doesn't exist.
Okay, now if everyone has chosen not to learn at least once, then most teachers have obviously been addressed with this problem. But their way to deal with this problem is to cram as much down the student's throat in hope that something, even if it's just a fragment, but it isn't the teacher's problem. It's the student who chooses not to learn. It's the student's choice. Now what happens when you get out of school? If you think like most people, you probably have the mindset, I'm not in school, so I'm obviously not a student. Who cares about learning? But sadly, no. You're always a student. You always have the choice to learn. And you should always strive to learn. For example, there are 90-year-olds out there learning how to skydive. Whoa. 90-year-olds out there trying. Look at that cute little face, by the way. And your mindset that most people have is, why should I, right? When the correct mindset that you should have is, why not learn? Or when you go to work, instead of thinking of it as a dreaded place, think of it as an opportunity to learn something new. Even if it's something as simple as cleaning out a fridge, riding a bike, driving a car. The right way, of course. Let me just show that for you.
Wait, you don't know what those things are?
If you strive to retain as much education or information now, it will make your life a better place in the future. For example, the U.S. has the most prisoners in the world, and if they had strived to retain all that information before, getting locked up, do you really think they would have made the same choices as they did to get them there?
Head's not even in that shot. You can stand up.
Keep going.
This looks like the Blair Witch Project. Sorry, he's doing a bang-up job filming.
Yeah, well, we figured that. He's fired after this, by the way.
A lot of them usually do. I don't think it's because they've seen it, because the style of filming.
Another example is the U.S. ranks 11th in how many hours a person works in a day. If we strive to retain the information that we're given, do you think it would be possible to maybe...
Just keep going.
Oh man. Imagine a world where you work from 9 till 2 and then go home with your families. And it's possible if we redo the parking system. Okay, I have lost. This next example, and one of the most important, the U.S. is ranked 14th in the world for education, which isn't bad. But if people strived to, if people strived to learn as much as they could in schools, do you think they would get better? Or those kids that get out of school after learning as much as possible could go back and fix their schools, fix the education system, make it better for everyone? I think if people in general started remembering or studying not for the test, but for their own personal knowledge, we could fix any problems. Science, math, English, politics, education, foreign policies. Everything would be affected for the better if people just started remembering or trying to remember what they've learned. I was reading an article on 911 calls. In the article, they were talking about unnecessary calls, like this lady lost her keys or a gentleman needed toilet paper. So they called 911, which reflects us being second in ignorance in the world. If everybody in the world tried to, not be stupid, just kidding, tried to work on that, given them to the farther their own knowledge, we could have less articles about unnecessary 911 calls and more beneficial articles or beneficial meetings or even flying cars. Just saying, that would be really fun, and we wouldn't have problems like that. We as a world, as students, could take a step in the right direction for the world. Okay, stop it.